Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to the episode of my F1 Road to Glory series in 2020, and this is it, the final episode of season number 3, and potentially the episode we finally do it, after 3 long seasons, really long, excruciating seasons. We could finally win a Drivers' World Championship driving a Williams Formula 1 car. Last time out at Brazil, well, let's just say it was a rather interesting one to set up the finale. We don't need to worry too much, though, with Gasly having issues, though. But, oh, what? Perez! Sergio Perez, what has gone on there? Perez, oh, Perez! Yeah, Sergio Perez will not be getting a Christmas card from me this year, let's just say that. I'm just absolutely baffled still. What on earth he was trying to do in that brake zone? Like I said, I'm convinced that Gasly's paid him, but we'll never find that out, unfortunately. So we're just gonna have to move on and get over it, as we have done many times before with things that have occurred in this series, because we've got a job to do. It's the final episode. It's the final chance to get this done. We are level on points with Pierre Gasly going into this one. Literally, you could not write this stuff unless it's Sergio Perez. He probably wrote it down in his pre-race journal because he wanted to make sure he took me out properly. But anyway, you couldn't write this stuff. So we come into this one then, finally with that upgrade that did fail on the car. So we get one little upgrade in present for this one. And it means that we're going to end off this series as the best car on paper. You know, on track, maybe a different story. The Ferraris look pretty quick. But on paper, technically, we are the best team. So I think that's a real testament to how far we've come as a team, as a unit, from that first episode many years ago now. Well, 2 years to be exact, from season 1 of the F1 Road to Glory series, when we brought back this series. Obviously, this entire thing being a reboot, of course, of the series I made many years ago with the Marussia Formula 1 team. But yeah, I think we've done ourselves proud. It's now time to just go out and do the business. So for one last time, let's head on to qualifying. Thankfully, at Abu Dhabi, no chance of any rain. We should just come here for all 21 rounds. Why are we going to other circuits where it rains everywhere, apparently? Starting off flying lap, then feeling good about it. The car should go well around here somewhat. I feel like Sector 3 we may lose a bit of time, but Sector 1 you're about to see, it's not going to be too bad. Ignore the top left. We're down to P11 briefly, but as we swing through down the crest, up into P2, and finding ourselves in a decent position. But here we are then, Sector 3, and already as we go towards the hotel section under the bridge, losing some time to Sebastian Vettel, the understeer kicking in, the rear end stepping out somewhat, but we're still actually in P2, so we've held it through. Maybe I lied, actually. It felt pretty horrendous in the car, but actually physically we're still there. P3, a lot of understeer on the last corner, losing some time on the exit, but across the line for P4 to end it off.
We're very happy with that position. Well done.
And Jeff's very happy about that position. That can only mean, hopefully, we are close, or if not beating Gasly, and there we are. Absolutely amazing, actually. Very poetic then. In the last outing, myself and Gasly level pegging P4 and P5 there. Only a matter of a few hundredths, or thousands, really, in it between myself and him. We'll be on the second row. He'll be on the third. Mathematically, you guys did point out, technically, Max Verstappen, the man on the same row as me, can still win the Drivers' Championship if myself and Gasly were to both have a horrendous incident. But you know, there's no way we're going to do that, because we've never come to war. I've never come to wars with my teammate ever in the Road to Glory series. Never. But Robert, he's locked up. Oh, no, what? No, we're out of the Grand Prix. We've just been taken out by our own teammates. It's out again, and Gasly's made contact with us and overtaken us again. So with that evidence laid out before us and the confidence building, let's head on then towards greatness, towards potentially a Drivers' World Championship in Williams.
There's still a chance we can win this championship, so go out there and bring back the title.
You know what? That is the first time Jeff has actually filled me with some confidence and sounds like he's actually backing me in this. I was really waiting, honestly, for him to say Gasly could win the title, step out the way, because I wouldn't put it past him to say that. But no, it looks like he's fighting in one corner for once. Strategy-wise, will be a very simple one stop. The 2 is possible, but I doubt it really, especially with the traffic around here. here, it's going to be all about that first stint, I feel, and then trying to measure when that pit stop is, because we can come in early, try and undercut, but we could also fall into the trap of falling into traffic if we pit in too early, so that'll be crucial. But the fact that Gasly's right there makes it even more crucial, because we're going to have to try and maybe cover him off, maybe, and we might need to make sure he doesn't overtake us, because that could be a possibility. Let's not kid ourselves. You know, he's pretty quick. He has been very quick this entire season, so we can't rest our laurels. But this is it then, as we go towards the final 5 red lights of this season and series for the F1 Road to Glory here in Abu Dhabi. 5 lights are out and we're underway. It's a bit of a slow start there compared to Verstappen. We're going to tuck in behind. Gasly trying a move on the outside. We're pinched out by Verstappen, and Gasly has overtaken us. Albon round the outside. Virtual safety car has been called out yet again in under a minute, and just after going past the first turns here in this Grand Prix. One person's out this time, though, not a massive calamity like was the case at Brazil, but we've already been overtaken by 2 cars there, so really that's a calamity in our books in terms of the championship fight. The 2 Ferraris lead, then Verstappen. Gasly up into P4, got pinched out by Verstappen, our other technically championship rival here, but obviously I'm only focusing on Pierre as we now go on for a bit of a shaky restart there. Illegally overtook Albon, a little bit too eager off that green flag, but we're going to try and overtake him now properly on the inside there. We're going to have to try and Nico Rosberg him if we can, i.e. pinching him here, then going a little bit early on the brakes, swinging through with the switchback move from the left to the right, getting the power down early as we can. Overtake mode, rich mix, no DRS yet, of course, but look at the power coming through, and we'll be up into P5 of this Grand Prix, and now it's to look onto the car ahead of us, our teammate Gasly. Can we try and re-overtake him? He might himself be looking to overtake Verstappen as well, though, so we might have to contend with that as we move on to lap number 3. The engine overheating slightly, so looking to try and cool that down with the lean mixture and just kind of wait patiently for the main straight. But like I said, that's the thing though, Gasly will have the speed as well to overtake Verstappen here, so he might use Verstappen as a nice barrier and hurdle for me. So let's just see how this pans out as we go down this main straight. The DRS will pop open earlier for Gasly, so he's going to close up and overtake him before I catch up to either of them there. We're going to have to maybe make a punchy pass, so we close up in the brakes on Verstappen. He goes defensive, and we've gone for it there. It's a massive dive around the outside, but we've made it work over the curb, popping over, and we're up into P4, so it's 3-4 for Williams there. Both of us working very well in this Grand Prix, so you can tell both of us want this race, obviously position, and therefore the championship quite a fair bit. We're now closing up on Gasly in that second straight. We have a little look, and it actually gives us some room, and we're around the outside. It's so close to making contact with him, though. I think we may have made a bit of contact, because I think some carbon fibre flew off the back of his front wing there on the right hand side, but we've been pushed wide, and Verstappen has re-overtaken us because we tried to avoid major contact with him, and whilst doing that he kind of forced us off circuit then. So it's all getting rather frosty here in the championship fight between myself, Verstappen and Gasly. We overtake Verstappen once more. Can we make the dive to the inside? No, instead we have to actually go defensive because Verstappen comes back at us then. This man will not give up. He's trying to force his way into what I feel like should be a 2-way fight, but he's making it known it is a 3-way fight here, and he's keeping in touch with us. We have to re-overtake them for the 2nd or 3rd time now in this Grand Prix and get back up into P4, but as we just slide through into that left-hander, having to settle behind Gasly for this sector at least, unable to make a pass quite yet, but now we move on to lap number 5, so this should be pretty easy. DRS open, overtake mode, rich mix engage, and Gasly will be a sitting duck. He moves slightly to the inside, but we're going to move even further to the inside, then back to the racing line and get that up into what will be P3, of course, the podium position, and crucially the championship winning position right now. And like I said, I think Gasly had some damage potentially, but in a straight line he's still pretty good. And now look at that, the power of DRS just showing out there, because Gasly's back round the outside. We lock up at the front left, he's round the outside there. He's somehow found the grip to make it work. We're now side by side through the next left-hander, still neck and neck. This has been a titanic battle between myself and Pierre Gasly, but on the exit we'll get that and get up into P3 once more. But on lap 6 we're a sitting duck in a straight line here. Our car is too good for our own good, because with DRS and with a lack of DRS for us, he's able to get it through, and he's going to pinch us right onto the apex. We get a massive tank slapper out there as the car hit the curb very awkwardly, and so he's back up into P3 despite having some damage, I feel. He's back up. He's done the impossible there, and he's re-overtaken us. On lap 6, though, we're going to come in now. All this fighting got me thinking it's time to come in, try the undercut. To be fair, a lot of the cars come in with us, so I don't think we'll be hitting traffic. So this is our time to try and do the job, tactically play this and come in early. So we're going to come in for the set of yellow wall medium tyres, the final pit stop we'll be making, hopefully, in this entire series. And now we go down that very awkward exit here as we go underneath turn 1, of course, and now we've got plenty of clean air. I feel like also the cars behind us got held up there as the Red Bull Verstappen, nowhere to be seen. It's actually Mercedes car that is behind us there, Sergio Perez, so don't know what happened there in the pit lane, but as we come through the next lap, and Gasly's got major issues. The Williams pit crew forgot to come out for Gasly, and they're changing his front wing, and it's meant that he's been held up so much so he's behind everyone in this Grand Prix. As he comes down, he's behind the AlphaTauris, the Racing Point, Alfa Romeo, all these cars. He's lost about 10 positions here, and here we are at the hairpin instead in P3 ahead of Verstappen. Major amount of understeer though. My god, look how unresponsive that front end was. Verstappen overtakes us very easy there. Don't know what went on there. The front end just disappeared and became like what we had in season 1, and so it's now a drag race down to the next left-hander. Going to squeeze him a little bit on the right, overtake mode, but no DRS for us. We've also got Albon close behind to the inside there. Verstappen squeezes us, and we made some contact with him, and we've got some damage of our own, so it's all kicking off in this Grand Prix. Gasly's down the order, but now we have damage, major damage that might be, because yellow front wing usually is understeer city. So I just joked about our front end becoming what we had in season 1. Literally, we might have that now as the virtual safety car is out, because literally as we enter that sector, someone crashed behind. So we've got 18 runners. The virtual safety car will end now on lap number 8. We're just so slow without that front bit of front wing that Verstappen has gone down the inside and overtaken us here. So although in one sense we may be looking great, you can see how slow I am now into these corners and under braking. But what we saw there, this is what we saw, was Gasly literally sat there for seconds until his our pit crew came out. Don't know what went on there. I don't know if Williams made my pit stop and then literally what they thought was, that's it then, lads. That's us done for the entire season, the entire series. Let's just pack up, have a magnum. And then they saw Gasly's car pull in and then for a few seconds just buffered and, just thought, what's that car doing there? And then they realised that there's actually another car to make another pit stop. I don't know what went on, but whatever the case is, our own team has just screwed over Gasly, and at this moment in time, I'm very upset for it's shocking scenes. It's just it's such a shame when it's out of your control, things like that. Just I'm so upset for him, but here we go then, overtaking Verstappen then. We'll have to try and drown our tears by getting up into P3 if we can, around the outside, and somehow still wrestling this car through, even though with the amount of damage we have on the front wing, in a straight line, of course, our car is still pretty damn good, but pretty much now, we literally are back to season 1. Like, we've got no downforce on the front, we've still got a great engine. As much as I've joked about it this season, our car has actually been relatively okay in the corners, but now we literally are driving what we had like 2 seasons ago. As Verstappen comes back at us in the corners, I just can't really do much because there's no bite-in response on the front end here. Even on the rear, it's not too great, but every straight, I'm getting back on him now with DRS. You can see overtake mode, rich mix there, and we'll close up, gaining, and we'll get him on the left-hand side once again on that number 10. What the? As Verstappen hits us though, and my life flashed before my eyes. I thought that was going to be another Sergio Perez from Brazil moment. Now Albon's down my inside. Perez is even closing up. I just let Albon through on purpose because I daren't try and fight that position because I don't want a repeat of what happened at Brazil. If we go out this Grand Prix, Gasly's still got a chance to get some points. Verstappen obviously got a chance to get some points and also try and beat us in the championship. So taking it easy, but now Verstappen has got a bit of damage as we try and go around the outside. It's pretty much the battle of the people who have damage on their car because I'm pretty sure Verstappen also has damage now on his front wing, so I'm trying to overtake him, but I just don't have the downforce myself, and now Perez is round the outside, and this is very iffy indeed, and we took out Sergio Perez. You know what? That is karma, my friend. That is absolute karma for Brazil, okay? I'm not sorry for you, pal. I'm not sorry. We've left Perez out the Grand Prix, and that is the Williams way, okay? Tit for tat, you did that to us, and so I didn't mean it, but I'll take credit for it, and so he's out. Fantastic stuff. So P5 then, we're going to try our best to try and close up to Verstappen. To be fair, it's not crucial if we overtake him, but like I said, he's got damage himself, so we try a move round the outside. He's got damage on the front left, I've got damage on the front right, so combined, we either have damage on the entire front wing, or we've got a full front wing, however you want to look at it. But we try and go around the outside now, but like I said, it's literally the battle of the wooden spoons, or the idiots basically, because both of us don't have any grip in the front end as we try and go around the outside once again of that right-hander now. Down the hill, can we get it around the outside? Very close indeed. It's like the 500th time we've locked up on the front left, but we get the job done, and we're up into P4 once again in this Grand Prix. Albon's gone away, but that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things at all, because here we are then on the last lap of the Grand Prix, lap number 14. We've got damage on our front left, the tyres are going off, the car's got no pace. This really is the most Williams way to come through the last sector, going on towards a Drivers' Championship. We've already won the Constructors' Championship with Williams, but this is the real important thing. This is what completes the F1 Road to Glory. Meanwhile, our teammate Gasly floundering way down the order after our own mechanics forgot to come out for him in the pit stops. You know, this really has been the most Williams race you could ever really want, basically, and that's what's so poetic, as then we come through the final corner. I don't even care that we're going to lose a position here. We're going to slow down and savour this as we come across the line to win the World Championship.
This is it. You've become the Drivers' World Champion after that result. Wonderful job and well deserved.
3 long seasons of this. 3 seasons of taking the piss out of this team over 2 different F1 games, and we've done it. We've won the championship with Williams Formula 1 in a Williams car that has Colgate on the side of it and a damaged front wing. There's no other way. It is really the only way. And with overalls, that's still of our old sponsor on, because we couldn't afford to change the overalls. It's just, everything's just so Williams, so just peak greatness, really. So I would have it no other way, but there we have it. We've done it. We've done what we set out. We've reached the end of the road. Can you believe it?
First of all, congratulations. You must be thrilled. It was more like Dodgems than Formula 1 today, wasn't it?
Yes, I am thrilled, Claire, and you're clearly thrilled for me, because that's why you're asking me about the crashing rather than the championship. Good.
Do you think this team are performing as well as they could do?
Why are you talking about Haas? Talk about me and the team. We just won a World Championship, woman.
Well, thanks anyway.
What do you mean, thanks anyway? You sounded upset about my answers. You know what? It's fitting that she had no clue what was going on and didn't ask me about the championship. Really fitting, okay? I'm still not over the fact of that one time in Season 2 where she asked me about the rain when it was a completely dry race. But there we are then, the Drivers' Championship trophy. It's all rather anticlimactic, I can't lie. There's no cutscene for a trophy or whatever. We're just giving it on a screen. Claire forgets the fact we won a championship. Jeff, I guess he said congrats, and Emma behind this graphics about to ask me about next season. There is no next season, my love. That is it. That is us done. We started off this road to glory, and it was a mere back alley, really, let's be honest, a pavement to glory. It then became a bit of a river in the middle of it, maybe a motorway with many meanders. Maybe then we went backwards for a sec, maybe we stopped off at a petrol station, and then it became a river again for the most part of Season 3, but we've reached the end. We've reached the end of the road, and we've achieved the glory we set out to achieve, and I will never be seeing this team ever again, because it's taken many years off my life, to be honest, but here we are. If you guys did enjoy the episode and enjoyed the entire series and the glory we have achieved, then be sure to hit that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're new around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. It's the least you could do, having taken a few years off my life recording this series. And till next time, and by next time I mean never again with Williams, goodbye.